All right, ready to roll here on a Saturday morning. Thanks to our friends at Insperity. Visit Insperity.com for powerful HR solutions with exceptional follow-through. 713-780-3776 is the number to get in here with the Golf Doctor. A lot to do today. Charlie, how was the week?
You know, the week was great. Anytime you can wake up every morning, you've had a good week, you know. But
Anytime you can put a wedge in your hand like that,
well, you know,
grip it like that,
when I first told my
good things
dad,
happening.
when I first told my dad I was going to have a radio show, he said, "Well, how are you going to teach golf on the radio?" Well, right now we have
They can see you, Charlie. Yeah.
Because we're on
YouTube and YouTube TV now.
This is really exciting.
It is. You can teach golf live. You don't know. I mean, especially to me when we've talked about grip on radio.
Yes.
Grip, posture, the fundamentals. You know, it's tough to verbalize that, but you've done that. You've done it for now 35 years. You started with Jimmy DeMerit.
Yeah, Jimmy DeMerit. Talking golf, teaching golf, and I've always gotten a lot of great comments. The power of radio is incredible. Now the power of YouTube is expanding our footprint. So we got a lot to talk about. We'll give everybody our opinions on golf, on life, and what's happening right now.
As far as the PGA Tour, the tour's through 8 weeks. We saw the Mexico Open at Vedanta last week. Charlie, Vedanta, PV, a special place in your heart. Course handled that tournament fairly well.
Well, very well, but the new rookie, me, I mean, he really played well, and now he's continued his good playing with Rory McIlroy in a PGA event in where are they playing?
Palm Beach. Yeah, the Cognizant Classic this week.
The new thing, the Palm Beaches.
Yeah, the Cognizant Classic at the Palm Beaches. Charlie, you and I both know it as the Honda Classic.
Yes.
Tough to see them go away from this golf tournament after 29 years.
Well, that's progress. I mean, our world is always moving. I mean, what's happening in golf is well documented. We're kind of really lost our way. We have the PGA Tour, which was the king of the kings of golf worldwide, and now we got Liv putting their foot in the door, and everybody's kind of uneasy.
Yeah,
and rightfully so. I don't know where all this big money's going to come from, but is it good for the game? I don't know yet. There's more to golf than just professional golf. Amateur golf is so important, and I'm a PGA member. We promote the game for amateurs. That's why I exist. I was a pro at Houston Country Club. We set up golf tournaments. We had junior tournaments. We had all sorts of things to get the people on the golf course. So we've got to worry about getting people on and off the golf course, not about $5 million prizes that I don't know where the money comes from.
No. Golf is it's definitely outspent itself to some extent. Charlie, when you look at, you mentioned Jake Knapp, the 29-year-old that won last week. It took Knapp 6 years from the time he turned professional to win on the PGA Tour. And last year, when he was on PGA Tour Canada, things got so bad that he had to take a nightclub bouncer job at nights just to keep his dream alive. That was very common in your era of playing professional golf.
Oh, sure. There wasn't as much money as there, we needed. And so if you didn't, make in the top 10, you were. I tended bar. I worked in a pro shop. I sold clothes. Just anything to be able to play golf, to be able to hit a shot that just sends electricity through your veins when you really do it correctly. I mean, it's a sickness. But it happens in all sports, whether you're a football player catching a 90-yard pass or a baseball player hitting a home run. So tennis player, and it's now the juniors have really gotten involved with golf. And for so many years, the good athletes went to basketball, football, baseball, but now guys that are 6'2", 6'3", they have the equipment that can really fit their body and they can hit some shots that are just incredible. And all the guys have these big muscles. They got good biceps because they got trainers, and it's changed the game. I mean, last week or 2 weeks ago in Columbia, we had the low of 57 and 459s on the same day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the game is changing and they're trying to control the golf ball. But, right now, we're excited about what's happening in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
We've got golf coming up that's really showcasing Houston and its fine golf courses.
We've got the Houston Open first, 2 weeks before the Masters in April. Last week of March is the Houston Open, a couple weeks before Augusta. And then we have the Chevron Championship at Carlton Woods, which is one of the 5 women's majors. And then Live Golf will come here in June for a bit of fun over at Golf Club of Houston, Charlie, your old stomping grounds.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. The Houstonian, I mean, to follow in our footstep of our godfather of golf, Jackie Burke, who brought so many great events to Houston, all the amateur championships, the Ryder Cup, and went on and on and on. Like he always said, he said, you got to have something in the pipeline. And we have that. We have tournaments to look forward to, and that gets the public excited. We raise money for charity. We can't forget about that big word, charity. If it's not making money for charity, I'm not sure that the people will support it. So let's hope so.
Yeah, if we're not raising money, if the PGA Tour is not raising money for charity, number one, and number two, not getting good viewership on television, then the product is failing.
Yeah,
to some degree.
You kept up with the statistics on that.
Yeah, the PGA Tour through 9 weeks is an interesting place. After the $3 billion deal from the Strategic Sports Group, the safety of the PGA Tour is secure for the next 10 years. But it seems to me that the product's been interesting. I mean, you look at the FedEx Cup standings through 9 weeks. Matthew Pavon of France leads the way after his win at Torrey Pines. Scotty Scheffler's in second. No wins for Scheffler on the year, but 4 top 10s through 5 starts. Chris Kirk is in third as he's still riding the wave from winning the season opener in Hawaii.
And what a great story that is.
Unbelievable.
I mean, he admitted he had trouble drinking and he had to take some time off, and he's come back stronger, more understanding of what he should do. He didn't like the loneliness of the PGA Tour, and so he went out and got help, and now he's back playing as good as he ever has. Yeah,
he says he stays with Brendan Todd every week, a former Georgia guy as well, Russell Henley. It's for someone like Chris Kirk, or we're going to talk about Ryan Palmer on the other side.
What a nice man he is. Yeah. I love Ryan Palmer.
Yeah, Texas Golf Hall of Famer. He's making his 500th start this week.
So am I.
But no, it's for someone to have that longevity in golf is pretty special. But that over that many starts, you're not bringing your family on the road every week, are you, Charlie?
500?
500 starts. Ryan Palmer's making his 500th start.
Yeah,
this
no,
week.
that's a nice number. He stood the test of time.
Yeah.
No, you can't travel once your family starts growing. Jack Nicklaus was the perfect example. He made a promise to his wife and his family that he would never be gone more than 2 weeks at a time. And he kept that promise. And he would fly across the country because he could. Sure, he had his own jet, and watch the kids play football and baseball, basketball, and he's a great family man. And so that's the golfer is is a family man, but living on the road, it's hard, but they make it work.
Yeah, I mean, talking as far as, back to the subject of where we stand through 9 weeks, the top 5 on the FedEx Cup standings: Matthew Pavon, Scotty Scheffler, Chris Kirk, golf, Shohei Ohtani, and Hideki Matsuyama. Great to see Hideki win at Riviera a few weeks ago. And then Wyndham Clark. You do have some big names up there. Scheffler and Hideki, both needle movers of the game. Wyndham Clark is potentially heading toward that conversation. But through 9 weeks,
he won the U.S. Open.
I know. But if he walked in, if Wyndham Clark walked into a restaurant down the street, would our producer Abigail know who he is?
Probably she'd know me more than him.
Yeah. But Charlie, my point to all this is there's a reason that the ratings have dropped every week. I mean, they if you look at through 9 weeks, each Sunday tournament has a lesser rating of what they produced last year. Do you find is there any reason behind that when you watch golf? Are you seeing anything different?
No, that's surprising. With all the golfers we have that are growing the game and they're playing, they're spending maybe because they're spending more time playing than they are watching television.
Yeah.
So that's maybe what's going on. But we'll see we'll see what happens when the Masters comes around or the Players Championship. We'll see. And the great thing with television, Will, is you can record it.
Yeah.
And if you can't sit there at 2:00 in the afternoon, you record it and then you watch it at night. I do a lot of that. And the recording is easy and they're great and you can play them back over and over and over again.
Yeah, they ran so Tony Finau won the Mexico Open last year.
Yes.
And they ran that a few times over the course of the year. And their most popular rerun surprisingly came in April. And that rerun in April of 2023 exceeded the final round numbers of last week's Mexico Open, which is pretty crazy. But nonetheless, that's a story that we can when you talk about the Mexico Open, I don't mean to make it sound like it was some boring leaderboard. People that like you and I who can get heavily invested in golf and know the stories and realize that Jake Knapp is playing with no money and he was a nightclub bouncer a year ago. That's an intriguing story, but I think the premise of this conversation is golf needs the best players in the world playing together every week again. I mean,
I've heard that a lot, and you're right, but we just got to keep going and see what it produces. Golf doesn't know what ranking you are. It's the guy that makes the most putts that week. And last week, Knapp was really unbelievable. First 54 holes of the tournament. He struggled because of nerves on Sunday, but he was able to produce a win. But there's many different reasons why the rankings or the telecasts are seen by so many people. It's hard to explain.
It is, and Liv is having this issue. When you're on so many different networks, it's tough to get one number.
There's 1,000. We're on television.
Yeah, I mean the PGA Tour is on NBC. It's on Golf Channel. It's on ESPN Plus. It's on PGAtour.com. And same with Liv. They've got Live Plus. They've got the CW network. They've got YouTube as well.
But see, the advantage that we have is we're going to teach golf on television now. We're going to come up with a weekly tip every week where the people can tune in. They can find out about professional golf, but more importantly, they can find out how to place their hands on the club. We're going to teach golf.
100%. 713-780-3776 is the number. For any questions, you can get those in on X at Charlie Epps Show. On the other side, we'll talk a little bit about Anthony Kim, and then we do have some questions coming in regarding some swing tips. We'll also talk about Texas Golf Hall of Famer Ryan Palmer and how he's celebrating 500 starts. I saw some interesting quotes from Palmer about technique and consistency. I want to run those past you. Yep. It could formulate into a great lesson. This is the Charlie Epps Golf Hour, presented by Insperity HR that makes a difference. Back after this.
You're listening to the Charlie Epps Golf Hour on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
Powered by Insperity.
From the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's Will Doctor and the Golf Doctor himself, Charlie Epps.
Nice to have you aboard as we give you the latest as far as the world of golf is concerned. Of course, this show is thanks to our friends at Insperity. Visit Insperity.com for powerful HR solutions with exceptional follow-through. Charlie, you've been a part of the Insperity team since it first started in 1986. Names like Arnold Palmer, names like Jim Nantz have worked with you to help grow this company. Talk a little bit more about our friends from Insperity.
Insperity is a unique company. It is designed to make small business grow. And if small business grows in our country, our economy just lights a fire. And our country is really big. The economy is huge. But the bottom line for Insperity, they want to help small businesses with their HR problems. And once you get your HR problems, you're set to go, and you can grow your business. You can specialize in selling, specialize in service, specialize in taking care of your customers. And their motto is they want companies to succeed so communities can prosper. And we want to grow our communities. We want to be able to support, the tax dollar goes a long ways for schools, for everybody, but Insperity is a company that will help you. So if you want to really start your company going, give Insperity a call, log on to Insperity, find out what their culture is. And their culture is the best company in Houston, and everybody wants to work for Insperity for one reason, because they know how to treat people. They know how to treat their customers, and they know how to treat their employees. So Insperity, I guarantee you'll really like them.
As far as you got a call from Insperity yesterday afternoon.
Yes,
Charlie.
Yes, Mr. Steve Arispe, he was coming back from a trip where he took they have contests within their company that for different reasons, and they went down to Mexico and celebrated, had 3 or 4 days in the sun, get them motivated, come back and really get them charged up, and that's Steve Arispe and Paul Servati and their team of professionals are second to none.
Yeah, they have an all-time reward system.
Yes.
You put in a certain amount of time there, you're rewarded with trips and whatnot, sporting events. Very cool company. Started in 1986. They've had the best spokespersons in the world: Arnold Palmer, Jim Nantz, Charlie Epps. Let's move forward as far as the world of golf is concerned. Bud Colley leads the way at the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. We really haven't seen Bud Colley in contention in about 3 years. He was a University of Alabama standout who got in a car accident about 3 years ago and had to go away for a while.
He had a bunch of broken ribs, and he had it was a horrific accident, and he's really paid his time rehabbing his body and getting himself back in shape, and now we look on the leaderboard, and here he is. So golfers have an incredible want to be able to win, and they'll overcome a lot of different things, starting with Mr. Hogan back in the 40s when he had that horrific car accident. He came back. Everybody has ability to come back because it's what drives them from the inside. They have that discipline that, okay, I've had a problem, but now I'm going to work and work hard and get back on top, and Bud's doing that.
When you talk about Ben Hogan, we might as well talk about this. And just to finish up a little leaderboard review, Bud Colley, he's at 11 under, winning by 1 after opening 66-65. He's 10-1 to win on BetMGM. Austin Eckroat, the Oklahoma State alum, won back chasing at 10 under. 65-67 start for Austin Eckroat. He is also at 10-1 over on MGM. When you talk about Mr. Hogan, I was reading about Texas Golf Hall of Famer Ryan Palmer this week, and he's making his 500th start. And he said, and I quote, "The one thing I'm most proud of is for 20 straight years, I've never really changed the way I've played the game. I've always done it my way, never chased swings, never chased equipment deals, always kind of played the game my way I felt I wanted to. This is someone, Charlie, he made his 500 start this week. To put that in perspective, the thousands of players who have played in 20 PGA Tour events or more, only 6% have made it to 500. Now, the correlation, obviously, Mr. Hogan, major champion, Ryan Palmer, 3-time PGA Tour winner. But when you look at Mr. Hogan's swing at 20, at 40, and at 80, it's the same move. It never changed.
It always was his way of putting the golf ball in a certain location with a certain ball flight on it. And he was a perfectionist, and he understood the action and reactions of the golf swing with the golf club against the golf ball. And Mr. Hogan, he prided himself in accuracy, and it wasn't distance, it was accuracy. That he was a great iron player. His putting wasn't as good as it could have been, but that putting is a completely different game. You got putting and then you got swing. He was a unique individual. But we've got people like him again.
Yeah.
We've got
Rahm comes to mind.
Yeah, Rahm. Nicholas was.
Yeah.
They've been rerunning his victories and how he played and how he let the other guy make the mistake.
Yeah.
Let's fairways and greens. That's what Jackie Burke always says. It's always about get in the fairway first. Don't worry about the green. Get it in the fairway. All these guys playing from the woods, they look like Tarzan coming out of the woods, And it's a game of accuracy. It's a game of finesse. It's a lot of these guys are just into bombing the ball.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like Ryan's philosophy.
Yeah.
Stick with what you know, and don't copy somebody else. You know what you can do, and just do it. And he produced he's got a good career.
Yeah. He said the only thing that's changed is a post-round beer has turned into a post-round workout.
Or white wine.
Yeah, there you go. To put it into perspective one more time, when Ryan Palmer made his first start on the PGA Tour, it was the 1998 U.S. Open. Lee Janzen beat Payne Stewart in a playoff at the Olympic Club, and 50-year-old Jack Nicklaus made the cut at the U.S. Open for the final time.
And he finished 6th at the Masters at the age of 58.
Wow. You know who else's move hasn't changed that much, Charlie? Anthony Kim.
Wow. There's I know his history. And
you know it too well, don't you?
Yes, I do. And I was working for Redstone, and we started a collegiate tournament at Redstone Club.
Which is now?
The Golf Club of Houston. But we had the tour event there, the Houston Open. And so I wanted to have the collegiate guys come to our facility, and so that when they became professionals, they'd come back and win it, okay? And they'd know about it, and it would grow our field. So lo and behold, we had 20 of the best collegiate golf programs come to Houston play in this. It was really a nice event, and Oklahoma came, and Anthony Kim was the child prodigy. I mean, his background was unique. His parents bought him a condo in Palm Springs. They lived in L.A., so he could go to school and play golf, but he didn't have any discipline. So that kind of led him astray for a while, but he was really a great golfer. He won our collegiate invitational. Then he came back and won the Houston Open. And he could play. He could definitely play. He had the ability to he had no fear, and he could shoot some numbers. And now he's back after a 12-year hiatus for different reasons. I know the backstory, but I'm not going to tell it because if he wants to tell it, it'll be up to him. But I wasn't surprised that he didn't shoot a number yesterday. He
76-76 to open first two rounds for AK.
Yeah, so we'll see where it goes. As far as I thought anyway.
Yeah, no, 2008 to 2011, he won 3 times in his first 3 years on tour. He made a President's Cup. But, no one's seen or heard of him since 2012 until this week. I think it's interesting that, Liv started him out in Jeddah overnight in Saudi Arabia when Miami is just a few weeks away, maybe some reps before you get to the States. There's a huge – we didn't see his face until the first round yesterday. And once again, like you said, there's no reason to belittle or degrade anyone. But listen, Anthony Kim's 38 years old. He looks like he's 50. I mean, he's got some mileage on him.
Yeah.
I
know. The President's Cup that he was a member of, and they won, and it was a team victory. I was getting up for my coffee, and he was coming in from dinner at 6:00 in the morning.
It was dinner with his entourage, huh?
Oh yeah. He rode it hard, and let's hope for the best.
Yeah, of course.
He cleaned up his life and moved on.
Yep. One more thing, and then we won't. By the way, Tim Surlock, GM of the new Longwood Golf Club in Houston, joins us at 8:30. We're going to have him on in just a couple minutes. Real quick, Charlie, we got a minute and a half left. I want to put all the live stuff behind us. This week, Taylor Gooch told Golf Digest of Australia, and I quote, "If Rory McIlroy goes and completes his career Grand Slam without some of the best players in the world, there's going to be an asterisk. It's just the reality. I think everybody wins when the majors figure out a way to get the best players in the world there. If Rory wins the Masters in April, will there be an asterisk?"
No. I mean, this.
We're continuing rolling. Sorry for the interruption. I guess the bottom line is if, Charlie, I left this off with Taylor Gooch saying that if
Who
Rory.
is Taylor Gooch?
He's a one-time PGA Tour winner.
Why are they quoting him? He doesn't have enough experience, and he talks out of the side of his mouth. He says some other stuff.
Yeah.
Oklahoma
State guy.
A win at Augusta is a win. Period.
Yeah, I don't know why he would say that when Jon Rahm won the Masters last year.
Yep.
He's now on LIV. DJ and Sergio did not play the Masters last year. So, silly quote. When we come back, the GM of Longwood Golf Club, it's a renovated, reopened, much more pure design than you've ever seen it before. It's going to quickly accelerate into one of the best golf clubs in Houston. The GM, Tim Surlock, is going to join us here in a few minutes to discuss it more. We'll be right back here on the Charlie Epps Golf Hour, presented by Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
The Charlie Epps Golf Hour, powered by Insperity, continues
On ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
from the Veritex Community Bank Studios. Here's Will Doctor and Charlie Epps.
Okay, before we get to Tim Sulak, the GM at Longwood, I got to tell you about my friends over at King Ranch Ag and Turf. Tom and Adam Belimovich are the great people who own 9 Houston locations. And it is the premier dealership for all John Deere equipment in Houston. Whether you're a homeowner, rancher, contractor, or institution, the King Ranch Ag and Turf team is there to provide you with the equipment solution and full service support you deserve. As far as their partners are concerned, Houston Country Club, Whispering Pines Golf Club, which is the #1 golf club in Texas, and includes Memorial Park Golf Course, which is home to the PGA Tour's Houston Open. No matter your situation, King Ranch Ag and Turf has the deal that you need. Newer pre-owned equipment, parts, service, flexible payment plans. They have it all. Go visit one of their 9 Houston locations and visit their website at King Ranch Ag and Turf to check out any special deals over at King Ranch Ag and Turf. They have a ton going on right now, so go in. Tell them you heard it right here on the Charlie Epps Golf Hour on ESPN 97.5 Houston. All right, let's go to the progressive guest line and welcome in Tim Sulak, who is the GM at the newly renovated Longwood Golf Club. Charlie, you're a big mind behind the renovation of this golf club. Tim, welcome to the show. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Thanks. Appreciate y'all having me on.
Tim, when you talk about what makes Longwood, so different from other golf courses in Houston, why do people need to come to your golf course? Why do people need to join Longwood?
Longwood has a long history. When it was first built, it hosted U.S. Open qualifying and PGA Q School qualifying back in the day. It's always been a great piece of property. The bones have always been there. What we've done out here recently is, renovated it. We've taken it from a 27-hole facility down to an 18-hole facility. We've completely redone the whole golf course. There's 5 new holes that we've built. We've used the corridors of 13 of the existing holes. We've changed all the greens, have been redone, regrassed. We've changed the green surrounds, all the bunkering around the greens. We've added tee boxes, reshaped some of the fairways. So it's basically a brand new golf course. We're really excited about the redo of Longwood. We think there's a lot of things going to come for Longwood in the future.
Well, Tim, and congratulations. And I've known about Longwood ever since Jack Montgomery built it, and then Billy Sitton and his crew, yourself, took it over. But one of the exciting things that people got to realize is, during hurricanes, sometimes we had a flooding problem. And now the county has made a deal with you all to buy some of the land and make it for retention or for controlling the floodplain. And now the golf course will play a lot more. When it rains, it's going to drain completely. And so there's a lot of real positive things that have come out of this redo for Longwood. And now you have a magnificent driving range that people can go and use before and after the members can use it. But the bottom line is it's a beautiful 18-hole golf course for Houston, Texas.
It is. It's something out here in the northwest side of Houston that not many golf courses are being built these days, Charlie. You know that. So it's something that's brand new. I think everybody in the community is excited about. I think the deal with the flood control has been a huge deal, not only for us as a golf course, but also for the community. We were flooded 3 times in 2016, and then, of course, Harvey hit in 17. So, to alleviate those issues for us and for the community has been a huge deal for us going forward for the future of the golf course.
Now, can the golfers go online and see the website about Longwood, or how do they come to find out what the membership is all about, and how do they move forward to join?
Right now we opened up a couple weeks ago. We opened up to members only. Sometime in the future, probably once we get closer to the summertime, we will open up to limited public play. But if anybody wants to see...
And what do you mean by limited?
They can go to longwoodgc.com. We have all our information on there as far as our membership and everything is concerned. We also have a Facebook page that has tons of pictures, shows everything from the beginning of the construction to the finished product and where we're at right now.
Well, the one unique, it's really 19 holes of golf, right?
It is 19 holes of golf. We have a unique deal out here during construction. Happen to be standing in our area, basically to the left of what is now 18 green. And just so happened the head of the construction company was in a dozer next to me. He got out, came over, and I said, this would be a great place for a green on 18. And he says, you know what, let's build it. So 18 actually has 2 greens to it.
Well, that's awesome. And so one more time, give us the website they can go to or the numbers you want them to call and to find about membership.
The website is longwoodgc, as in golfcourse.com, or they can call us at 281-213-2400.
And you guys will take groups. Do you have any room for groups on Mondays or anything like that for tournaments?
We are doing some limited outings out on Monday. So, if someone has a tournament that they would like to host out on Mondays, we would love to have them.
And then you have a full-service bar and grill, correct?
We've also added basically an outdoor cantina. It's a huge patio area that we built out there. We've put an outside bar out there. So there's been a lot of changes. It looks great. And like I said, everybody in the community and our new members are very excited about the product that we have produced for them.
Well, why don't you give us a telephone number?
It's 281-213-2400.
So, Tim, when you say it's opening to a limited public number of limited public people in May, what exactly does that mean?
Well, we're basically our model has switched over to where we're basically a pure semi-private club, and as the membership grows, we'll limit the outside public play. So right now, the membership has been unbelievable. The excitement and people joining out here. So, as we start allowing the public to come out and play, which, like I said, I think would be sometime this summer, it will be limited. It will be limited according to how many members we have and how much space we have available for the public to come out.
Excellent.
Tim, we appreciate you taking some time to join us today. We know Saturday is a busy day at the club, but we're looking forward to talking to you soon, and Charlie and I will be out there pretty soon to come tee it up with you.
Love to have you out. I appreciate y'all having me on. Let me talk about the golf club at Longwood.
I get the up tees.
All right, Tim. We'll talk soon. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, Timmy.
We'll take a swing question now. Once again, you get your questions in on X at Charlie Epps Show, or get on the horn at 713-780-3776. This is from Felix and Humble. Charlie, I'm really having a tough time getting my 3-wood in the air off the deck. I have a couple new 3-woods from Callaway and TaylorMade, but still not seeing the results. My primary miss is a top. Thanks for the help.
Well, that only means that at impact, the club is coming up. And in actuality, when the 3-wood is off the ground, we got to create a little divot, so you got to hit down on the ball just a little. And you want to feel like it's a descending blow at impact and try to hit the ground in front of the ball. And that will mean, if you're a right-handed golfer, make sure that the weight of your swing is predominantly on the left side, and you can do that. But I don't know what your handicap is, but the 3-wood is the hardest club in the bag to play, because it's not like the driver where you have the aid of a tee. You've got very little loft, and it's got to be a swing that is perfectly timed, and the ball position has got to be in the correct position. So good luck with it. If not, use your 5-wood.
Yeah, what about there's so many different you're seeing so many different numbers of wood. I mean, Anthony Kim carries a 7 hybrid.
Yes.
Some guys carry 5 woods. There's 7 woods. And you're seeing this on tour now, Charlie.
I've got more head covers than irons in my bag. So all the new hybrid clubs, with the loft, are designed to help get this ball up in the air, and so you need more loft to get the ball up, but you still have to hit down on it just a little, and you'll be successful.
Let's do a leaderboard update presented by Insperity. As far as the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches at PGA National Resort, Alabama alumni Bud Colley leads the way at 11 under after rounds of 66-65. You find him at 10-1 odds on BetMGM. Austin Eckroat is chasing in a tie for second at 10 under. He's a former Oklahoma State standout. He opened with 65-67. You can also find him at 10-1 on MGM. That's my personal favorite going into the weekend.
Who's that?
Austin Eckroat out of Oklahoma State. Played alongside Matthew Wolff. Played alongside
What a
Victor
team
Hovland.
they had that year, huh?
Unbelievable. Pretty much their whole team's on the PGA Tour. You have Austin Eckroat. You have Matthew Wolff. You have Victor Hovland. You have Sam Stevens, and you have Chris Ventura, who's on the European Tour. So, great team that they produced there. In a tie for second is Garrett Higo out of South Africa at 10 under. You might remember he won at Congaree a couple of years ago.
Yes,
You're going out to Congaree
I'm
soon,
going
aren't
to
you?
Congaree. I'm going to be a part of a golf school over there, and we'll raise some money for charity. But, go see my good friend Bruce Davidson.
And in a tie for fourth is Kevin Yu and Victor Perez. We'll be right back here on the Charlie Epps Golf Hour. We'll get you a couple picks. We'll talk about a couple issues with the PGA Tour signature events and sponsors exemptions, and we'll keep you updated on the leaderboards. This is the Charlie Epps Golf Hour presented by Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
This is the Charlie Epps Golf Hour on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
Powered by Insperity.
Now from the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's Will Doctor and the Golf Doctor himself, Charlie Epps.
All right, before we keep going on the golf, let me tell you about my friends at Remind Support. Hi, this is Will Doctor. If you're struggling with depression or bipolar disorder, Remind Support offers free, confidential, and safe support groups in the Houston area for those living with an illness that has devastated millions worldwide. Whether you are someone that prefers virtual medicine or someone that prefers face-to-face interaction, Remind accommodates either option. Groups meet online or at a location around the area with licensed mental health professionals leading them. These groups are filled with comfort, hope, and social support with peers. There is no cost to attend, and finding your class is simple. Visit remindsupport.org and type in your zip code to find a location near you, or sign up online at a day and time that is most convenient. No one should have to suffer in their mental health alone, but with Remind, free support is here for you. Go to www.remindsupport.org. Once again, that is www.remindsupport.org. Charlie, come back to this mic. Let's talk about the Argentine Open real quick. Your guy, Angel, listen, still, he missed the cut by one, but 2 under par. He's been, on the couch for 3 years. Those are pretty good scores, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I'm very, very encouraged by Angel's attitude and want to return to the game that he loves to play, that he plays it so well. That 2 major championships. My goal, just my personal goal for him, and he's going to play the hard courses, I think, better than most of the senior or the Champions Tour players. And I'd love to see him become, the second person to win the regular U.S. Open and the senior U.S. Open. So he's got some goals in mind, and I think, redemption and you get to learn from your mistakes and become a better person for that. And grow as a human being and set more records for the South American golfer.
Yeah, absolutely, and continue to grow the game for the country of Argentina. He's already done that really so well. We've heard a lot over the past year, Charlie. We interviewed Mateo Fernandez de Oliveira, who won the Latin America Amateur last year. He said he was influenced by Angel in a major way. We interviewed this year's Latin America Amateur, Santiago de la Fuente.
How about Santiago makes the cut in his first tour event in front of his hometown? All his parents. That was hard, and he did it. So congratulations to Santiago.
Yeah, it made the cut, a top 40 finish at the Mexico Open in one of his first PGA Tour starts. Once again, we talked Hogan and Ryan Palmer earlier today in the show. We talked John Rahm and how these consistent golf swings are built for the long run. I think when we played with Santiago at Golf Club of Houston, we both saw the same thing. This is a golf swing that is built for success over a long period of time.
Yes, and in our new studios, we have light, we have great microphones, and we're going to do some creative things on sharing information with our listeners about golf, about the grip, about the swing, about attitude. And I'm really excited to have our new studio here at Gal Communications.
Yeah, maybe we'll bring in Angel sometime, Charlie.
Oh, yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be fun. You'd have to do the whole interview in Spanish, but that'd be a lot of fun. Charlie, as far as teaching, any lessons in particular this week that you would like to share with your audience?
Well, I'm going to give a golf clinic at a course in South Carolina, and my responsibility is putting. And I use the analogy or the information that I gained from the great coach Tom Landry from the Dallas Cowboys. And I said, Coach, how come you win so much? How come your teams are so disciplined? He says, Charlie, I got my team to buy into the fact that you're only going to play as good on Sunday as you practice on Wednesday. So when I teach, if I don't teach somebody how to practice what I want them to do, then I'm not doing my job. And I proved that with Angel Cabrera. He really bought into the fact that we had to spend hours and hours practicing putting. And I think people don't spend enough time practicing, and they don't know how to practice. So we'll talk about that more in detail. But once again, why does the great basketball players play so well? Because they spend time on the court.
Yeah.
And it's not during tournaments. It's the guys that go to the gym and have that discipline
daily,
and they practice for hours. Now, you don't have to practice for hours, but at least you have to practice for an hour.
People don't understand how crazy you really have to go on the putting greens in practice to become elite. Tiger, Jason Day, two of the best putters ever.
But you know what?
5 hours a day on the putting green.
But you know what it's all about? It's just like being a sharpshooter. Eyes. You got to visualize your target. You've got to identify your target. Remember the movie Sniper?
Yeah.
Where he hits a guy with a rifle 2 miles away. He could visualize where his target was, and he could aim the gun with the right information to let the bullet find the target. He didn't have to do anything else but aim the instrument in this incredible rifle. You got to know how to aim the putter at the direction the ball needs to start. So practice.
So that's aim and putting. Charlie, talk about the 9 windows that Tiger Woods would hit through on the range. Talk about that type of practice.
Well, if you look and you make an image of a rectangle, and you have 3 squares on the top, middle, and bottom, you'd be able to start the ball through each of those squares to have the desired direction that you need to hit the ball. So that is really a great target for an advanced player. Now, I'm not saying that somebody that's just starting off has got to have that, but it's a great image, and you got to see it before you can do it. You can't do it if you don't see it.
Incredible. I personally, I can't execute the 9 windows, but it's a great pre-round strategy as far as learning to hit different shots, getting your swing ready to hit a couple draws, couple fades, couple straight shots. I really like that one.
Well, we'll keep talking to people that have the talent to do that. You're a great player. You're a college player. You're low handicap. You've shot in the 60s. So, we got to get you got to have the proper ball position before you can try that.
Yeah, I've got my ball position a mile back in the stance, hitting these low draws, wondering why the ball's not getting up in the air, why I can't hit a fade.
Hello.
You explained it pretty quickly. Ball position a little bit more forward. Charlie, let's just be honest here. Not the most exciting leaderboard at PGA National. At least the course is just an absolute gem. One of the best courses on the PGA Tour.
And what does it do? It raises money for Children's Hospital in Jack Nicklaus's name. That's the main reason why that tournament's there. And we've got to keep. Shame
on Honda for leaving that.
Well, they were there for 30 years. Yeah. I mean, that to me is their right. Yeah. And then we got to sponsor it real quick. Yeah. But the bottom line is we got to do things for charity. And we got some things coming up here in Houston that we're going to raise some charity. And that way, Jackie Burke won't be bugging me. He's going to say, "Pro, what have you done for the charity?" He gave to his church, he gave to his community, and he gave to the city.
And all 4 of our tournaments here in the Houston area do that. I said 3 earlier. I missed one, Charlie. We've got the Houston Open.
Yes.
We've got the Insperity Invitational Champions Tour event, which Angel Cabrera will be in attendance. Charlie, can you confirm?
Well, we're going to hope so.
He's got to get his visa first.
That's right. He's been invited, and now he's got to get his travel document.
It could be quite a tour. Augusta to the Woodlands Country Club.
Yeah.
It feel like 2001 all over again.
Unbelievable.
So you've got Houston Open. You've got, which Scotty Scheffler and Tony Finau are committed to. Pretty good field shaping up at the Houston Open.
Yes.
You've got the Insperity Invitational. You've got the Chevron Championship, LPGA Women's Major, and then you've got Live Golf in June.
And why is the Houston Open have the title sponsor?
Texas Children's Hospital.
We got to do it for children.
Yeah.
that's another charity.
Shout out Mark Wallace.
Yes, exactly right. So there's so many things to do in the spring. We got the Tiger.
Yeah, what about Tiger, Charlie? He went out. He withdrew at Riviera. He got sick. Had some illness, but it didn't seem like a body issue. And his new clothing company, Sunday Red, put out an Instagram yesterday of him lifting weights. So I'm excited to see what he does this year.
Yeah, Tiger's back in the fray. We're going to get Tiger, whether he's on the golf course or off the golf course. He's a big part of the history of the game.
Charlie, you got to give me a pick. I know this leaderboard, not your favorite. Bud Colley, Austin Eckroat, Garrett Higo at 16-1, Kevin Yu at 16-1, Victor Perez at 22-1. You also look down the leaderboard, and 3 shots back is Shane Lowry, tied for 6th. We haven't seen Shane in a while.
That's right. And I would pick him, but I'm a big, I like comebacks. And
yeah.
Bud Colley, Georgia, right?
Alabama.
And great player, and coming back from an auto wreck that was really serious. He'd make a great winner.
He's got some chasers behind him, Charlie. I mean, only 3 back and a tied for 6th. That 8 under. You've got Shane Lowry. You've got last week's winner Jake Knapp. You've got Rory McIlroy.
I thought you said the leaderboard wasn't any good.
And you've got Cam Young. They are 3 back. Well, hold on. Let's look at these first 6 names, Charlie. Bud Colley, Austin Eckroat, Garrett Higo, Kevin Yu. Once again, we love this leaderboard, but Barney at the bar is going to have some trouble getting invested in this leaderboard unless Rory shakes and bakes up the leaderboard.
Who is the guy in the one in Boston, the bar? It was
Cheers.
Cheers.
Great show.
Who was the guy in the?
Don't put me on the spot about a '90s show.
Come on. That's who I want to be my judge.
All right, we appreciate you joining us today, Charlie. Appreciate your time.
The moon is in here.
Yeah, okay. All right, we'll see you next Saturday here on the Charlie Epps Golf Hour, presented by Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
Bye, everybody. Hi.